call the January 2nd, 2018 combined pre-council, city council meeting to order. The Honorable Mayor Bob Odekirk presiding. Doing our invocation this morning is Minister Matt Wolf, the Cherry Hill Church of Christ, and Pastor Wolf will also lead us in the pledge.
Happy New Year, everyone. Let us pray. Father in heaven, it is cold outside, but it's warm in here, so let us count our blessings that we have heat this evening. And we just pray that this first meeting of the year honors and glorifies you. And please bless the men and women, not only here tonight, but everyone in this community. Be with the leaders in Joliet as they strive to make the positive impact for everyone. Thank you, Father, for the overwhelming abundance of blessings that you've given us throughout the years. And the mere fact that we're here tonight means that you've blessed us with reliable transportation, reliable health, and a reliable forum in which to discuss pertinent issues. Thank you for giving us the ability to choose whether to embrace you or reject you. We thank you for your unconditional love, knowing that we are sinners who quite often fall short in your kingdom. Your grace and mercy covers our iniquities, and for that we are grateful. As the Apostle Paul says in the 13th chapter of Romans, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. So as the new year is upon us, pray for the mayor, the city officials, all the council members, that they may have a renewed sense of desire to do the next right thing. I pray that you give them wisdom and discernment to promote order and justice in this community. Father, we pray that you instill in them a loving spirit, even when disagreement may occur. And I pray that they find peace from within and from without. Father, we pray that tonight's agenda pleases you and that everyone here works in concert for the benefit of those whom they represent. We pray in your blessed and holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Here to you. Thank you.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilman Dickinson.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman. Here. Councilman Turk.
Here.
First on the agenda under mayor is Mayor Odekirk appointments. None this evening. Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following changes? Move Council Memo 1-18, the resolution authorizing execution of a use agreement, Route 66 Raceway LLC at Chicagoland Speedway LLC, to under resolutions. There is no public hearing for this item. Second, hold the public hearing for Council Memo 2-18, a resolution approving an amendment to annexation agreement Chicagoland Speedway, shortening the term of the original agreement to January 2nd, 2018, under public hearing, but take action on this item under resolutions after Council Memo 1-18, and remove the following council memos from the agenda. Council Memo 6-18, an ordinance amending Chapter 28, Article 16, Economic Development and Business Retention Program for new and used car dealers of the City of Joliet Code of Ordinances. Remove Council Memo 12-18, a resolution approving a dedication agreement for Emerald Drive. And remove Council Memo 17-18, approving an extend service agreement for the video board at Joliet Route 66 Stadium.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion and seconded to approve the agenda as written with the changes that I mentioned before. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman. Aye. Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening, sir?
Just like to make a comment for consideration.
Could you give your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Jolene Grassity, 507 Walsh Avenue, Joliet, Illinois.
Thank you.
Just wanted, would like the property on 129 St. Joseph Avenue, that was to be considered public nuisance. Just wanted to be considered that I'm in plans to reestablish that property. I just had changes to my work location. I'm on the road 4 hours a day. It's been a little difficult. As soon as the weather changes, we'll get that taken care of.
Have you spoken with anyone on staff about this?
No, I haven't. I just recently found out about the property being declared at this yesterday evening.
And this would be under, David, under 518?
Yes. Is that the one where we have certain property? Yeah, it's 582, correct.
All right, we're going to address it in just a minute, I think.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Next, we'll move to council committee reports. Public Service Committee report.
The Public Service met this afternoon here at 4 p.m. at City Hall. In attendance on the committee is myself, Councilwoman Gavin, and Councilman Dickinson. Also in attendance was Jim Egan and Jim Trisna, as well as City Manager David Hales, and an engineer from the department, Allison Swisher. Pretty routine agenda of contracts and change orders. We did remove one, which was a request for authorization to approve and extend a service agreement for the video board at Joliet Route 66 Stadium. It was not removed for any controversial reasons. It was removed because we concurred that it should go to the stadium committee, and that's where it should be vetted, and then so it will come before us as a routine matter. Quite a few items had to do with the ongoing water main improvement project that we do with the EPA, and then there was an additional bridge added to an agreement earlier with Centerpoint about putting up elevated bridges over railroads, streams, and so forth out in their area south of town. So we added another bridge over Patterson Road that will be necessary. They pay for it. They pay for the engineering. They pay for the construction. And then, of course, those improvements are part of our roads, but it is the agreement that they pay for it. And other than that, we found everything else to be in order, and everything was voted unanimously to be sent forward to the full council for approval, and you will find all the contracts and that change order on tonight's agenda for the city council meeting. And Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on December 18th and the minutes of the council meeting held on December 19th, 2017 stand approved as recorded. Is there a motion to approve said consent agenda items?
So moved. Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman. Aye. Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under public hearings, Council Memo 1-18 was moved under resolutions. Next is the public hearing for Council Memo 2-18, a resolution approving an amendment to annexation agreement Chicagoland Speedway, shortening the term of the original agreement to January 2nd, 2018. Action for this item will be taken under resolutions. This is the public hearing only. This is a public hearing, so comments are in order at this time.
Is there anybody who'd like to speak in this item?
Let the record show the public hearing is now closed. Under ordinances, Council Memo 4-18, an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow an auto accessories installation, customization, and used car sale facility located at 2409 West Jefferson Street. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Been motioned seconded to approve.
I have some questions.
Yes.
If, I don't know, David, if you could just kind of give us a little background, or possibly Mr. Jones give us a little background on this.
Ken.
Mr. Jackson. Just a little background on this property and, you know, exactly what's gonna go there and what they're gonna be selling and that sort of thing.
Yes, the applicant in this matter currently operates a custom rim shop on Jefferson Street. He would be moving his current operation to the subject location on Jefferson Street, which would be further to the west of where he's currently located. It would be custom rims. He would also do some other customization work of vehicles, and he is proposing to use the rear of the lot to put vehicles on display that he customizes.
Will they be, I'm sorry, Mark.
No, go ahead.
Will they be, so they'll be selling the custom rims, other auto parts type of thing?
Correct.
Okay, whereabouts, Kendall, can you get my bearings here? Where exactly is this gonna be going? What facility is it gonna be located at?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to look at the map here, sorry.
I think it's a building or two back to the east from Long John Silver's,
Okay.
just off of Barney.
Okay, that's right. And will it be fronting Jefferson Street, or will it be, is that building fronting?
It fronts Jefferson Street.
Fronts Jefferson Street.
I think it's a sort of it's a longer building, and to the rear would be the
Yeah, I know where
location.
it's, yeah, I know where it's at now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ken.
Yes.
Kendall, all the work will be done in back? Is that my understanding?
I think the work would be done in back and also in the building itself.
Mayor,
Yes.
just to clarify, I know when it went to zoning board, they recommended that it be only vehicles customized by the petitioner and only those to be sold there. How are we going to enforce that?
We will monitor it. We'll work with if this is something that the council approves, we'll work with the owner to make sure that it's just.
And he is aware of this condition, correct?
Yes, he is. And that's to his desire, that he not put vehicles for sale that he has not customized. It's just another way that he wants to
Showcase his wares?
showcase his wares, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Kendall, I received an email, I think others on the council did too, expressing concern about this, that the person who sent the email didn't believe that this fit the neighborhood, specifically with the hospital, with St. Joseph's and the TIF that we recently passed. Does staff have a position on that? Will this adversely affect the medical campus at St. Joe's?
I don't believe it would have an adverse impact. Could we have something that would be better? Yes. But I don't think that this particular business would adversely impact what we're attempting to do for the greater hospital campus.
Yes.
Kendall, I know his current location now, there were some issues with the Reesewood community with them having the rims outside along Jefferson Street. And I was reading, I guess at the zoning board, that was a question, and so he was clear that wouldn't take place here at the new location.
Correct. And that was something that he was not supposed to be doing at his current location either. So yes, it's something that we will not allow.
It's already violated, so.
Right. And then I also read that this is gonna be one car allowed in the front that he customized at a time.
Clarification. There will be one car in the front on display.
And when you say it's a car that he has to customize, so that's simply just putting a rim on the car.
Correct.
That would be considered
Correct.
him customizing the car. Okay, thank you.
One more question. Is he gonna have flashing LED lights in front of his business?
We will make sure that he doesn't.
Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve Council Memo 4-18, which is an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow an auto accessories installation, customization, and used car sale facility located at 2409 West Jefferson Street. Councilman Girl?
No.
Councilman Hug?
No.
Councilman Morris?
No.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
No.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
No.
Councilwoman Gavin?
No.
Motion was denied. 6 noes, 2 ayes. The ordinance was denied. Council Memo 5-18, an ordinance declaring certain properties as public nuisances. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
Before we motion it, is it possible that we can remove the one property the gentleman's here on, let him meet with staff, and we can make a determination what we're gonna do?
You could. Let me, if we could, let's have Mr. Jackson also kind of comment on that. Because even though if this ordinance was approved, there's still a time delay before any further action such as demolition or would take place. So if you have a property owner willing to come in with a game plan, you'd take that into consideration before any further demolition, Mr. Jackson?
That is correct, Mr. Hales. The staff would work with the property owner. There was something that we would put into place, a memorandum of understanding, and he would have to show proof of funds that he could bring the property back to a stable condition. But if the council so desires, this could be something that we work on with the property owner to make sure that we have that memorandum of understanding in place going forward.
Mayor?
Yes,
I'm sorry, which of the three was it again?
129.
29.
129 Joseph? Is there a history behind it? How long has it been outside of ordinance? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the council memo here, and the description says a single-family ranch home that has been vacant and neglected for over 2 years. So that's just kind of a general description of the history that we have.
Have we tried to work with the owner in the past, over the last 2 years?
Well, before we get to this state, there's several notices that we send out that the property is in bad condition. And I'm not quite sure with the property owner if our staff has been in constant contact, but we do send out notices. I'm not sure what the response was, but we attempt to work with the owner.
I might agree with the mayor, but, you know, I understand that even if we leave it in the package of all three and just, you know, vote yes on the ordinance, you know, couldn't we pull it for 30 days? That way he doesn't feel like he hasn't been heard, and that gives him 30 days to sit down with somebody on your staff, Kendall, and come up with something with teeth in it. And then if not, then we bring it back with the next group.
Yeah, that would be agreeable.
Mayor, would you like me to motion then to remove, what was the 129, I guess it was?
Yeah. 129 St. Joseph Avenue.
Yeah, so my motion is to, motion to approve while removing the 129 St. Joseph.
Right, Marty, do we do two motions?
Motion seconded
One to
to,
remove and then one to approve?
What was the motion again?
motion was to approve Council Memo 5-18, the ordinance declaring certain properties as public nuisances with the removal of 129 St. Joseph Avenue.
You can do it all in one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin? Aye. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Sir, if you can meet with staff after the meeting, that'd probably be helpful. Thank you.
Council Memo 6-18 was removed from the agenda. Under resolutions, Council Memo 1-18, resolution authorizing execution of a use agreement, Route 66 Raceway LLC and Chicagoland Speedway LLC. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin. Aye. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 2-18, a resolution approving an amendment to annexation agreement Chicagoland Speedway, shortening the term of the original agreement to January 2nd, 2018. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin. Aye. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Just want to say thank you. You guys have been great partners, and you're great for our city, with all the charitable work you do and the great events you put on the track. So thank you for, yeah.
I'll be brief. Thank you very much, Mayor, for your comments. I'd just like to say, it's hard to believe that it's been 20 years since the vision and dream of Route 66 Raceway was born by local businessmen here in Joliet, names like George Barr and Jim Bingham and Jerry Papish. And it's amazing what has been accomplished together in working with the city over those years. And I just want to say on behalf of our entire team and our parent company, International Speedway Corporation, we are incredibly grateful to this community that embraced us with open arms more than almost 20 years ago now. And we're particularly grateful to Mayor Odekirk and this city council for all of your support. It's truly been a team effort. I'd like to acknowledge the Herculean efforts of Marty Shanahan, the city attorney and at the time acting interim city manager, for his efforts. I think this was the third hat he was wearing in trying to get this to the goal line. So thank you for your efforts. And just in closing, I want to say, we're very proud of the fact that we were built 100% with union labor, all three of our facilities many, many years ago. And we continue to use union labor exclusively with everything we do. I think we all understand and recognize the important role that labor plays in our community. And I would be remiss if I didn't, speaking of labor, recognize just the tremendous support that we have received from the Joliet Police Department and the Joliet Fire Department throughout our history. You simply couldn't execute events of the scale and magnitude that we do. Our NASCAR weekend is the state of Illinois' largest single-day spectator sporting event, and you couldn't do that without the support of incredibly talented men and women in our city services department. I particularly want to thank Chief Brian Benton and Chief Joe Formals for all their support over the years. And, I think our latest economic impact analysis suggests that we do about $140 million of economic impact annually in the region. We have done, very proud of the effort that we've done with our race foundation, Racing Advocates for Community Enrichment, that is now, since its inception in 2012, given over $2 million to worthwhile local organizations. And not to mention the national and international TV audiences. NASCAR and our race this July 1st will be broadcast in over 175 countries around the globe. And this is a great way to expose the wonderful community we live in Joliet and Will County to a wide population. So I think I'm proud to say that we feel like we've held up our end of the bargain, but I want to be very clear, we could not have done the great things that we've done without the support of this city and this community and the people on this council. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, I had one question for Mr. Paddock.
Yeah.
For those that didn't read it, I'm sure we all did, this essentially combines both campuses,
Yes.
the clay track and drag with the Chicagoland Speedway. And in it talks about doing future development like we've done for 20 years, which you guys have been great partners with the improvements you've made, and then, there's clawbacks where the city's just a collector. It's a great agreement. But it also talks about entertainment venues that could be developed. You have any announcements you want to make, Mr. Paddock?
No, I think it's very much business as usual. We have, I think, we all recognize the opportunity we have with a facility like ours to be able to do more than just motorsports programming. And throughout our history, we've done some endurance events and some musical events. And it's a great way to drive additional economic impact to the region and put folks to work. So we're very, very aggressive in doing that. And, we're certainly going to consult with the city and this council and represent the fact that we're going to be great community partners. The one point I didn't make is we will acknowledge we may have made a couple of missteps along the way, but what I'm proud of is the fact that we work very quickly to address those and rectify those and to make sure we haven't made those mistakes again. But we're aggressively pursuing all types of programming to the facility with your support. And, you know, we want to leverage every opportunity we have to be in the economic engine we can for this community.
Well, and I want to congratulate you folks because you really did an amazing job bouncing back from what we all now collectively call the great collapse of 2008.
Yeah.
You've really come back. It was a long road, and
Yeah.
you've done a tremendous job out there.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Happy New
Scott.
Year.
Council Memo 8-18, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a cost-sharing service agreement with Pace and Centerpoint for bus service on Pace Route 511. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'd ask the city manager to give an explanation for people that are listening at home.
Yes, as best as I can. It's basically this is a cost-sharing agreement with Pace to help. I think it's to add some additional services to transport on Pace's buses from Joliet down to the Centerpoint Industrial Park. And let's see, who else? Kendall. I think, is that correct that they're adding an additional, I think, route in the morning, and I think another one later in the afternoon that they, whereas currently I think there's just one in the morning and one in the afternoon?
Correct. This is a service that Pace started up, I believe, a few years ago. And for 2018, they are adding one additional bus in the morning and an additional bus in the evening.
And and as I can recall too, at Centerpoint is sharing in that cost?
Yes.
Or is it?
Centerpoint is sharing in the cost.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes.
So it's my understanding, essentially, we're going to pay half of that, 36,700, and Centerpoint will match that. Is that how
That is correct.
That's okay. Thank you.
There was a motion on the table. I believe we need a second.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve Council Memo 008-18, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a cost-sharing service agreement with Pace and Centerpoint for bus service on Pace Route 511. Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudry?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 9-18, a resolution authorizing the submittal of the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin? Councilman Girl? Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 10-18,
Get your car out of here.
a resolution authorizing a collaboration agreement between the County of Will, City of Joliet, and the Housing Authority of Joliet for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Assessment of Fair Housing. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 11-18, a resolution authorizing the sale of vacant surplus real estate, 300 block of Ohio Street. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Second?
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Just one quick question. Marty, we talked about this earlier today. What are the plans for that property? Just want to expand their current property? Or are they going to build a business there, or what's the deal? Do we know? It's on Collins Street.
Kendall?
I think they just want to expand their current business there.
Their current business?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. I'll vote aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 12-18 was removed from the agenda. Under bids and contracts, award of contracts, Council Memo 14-18, award a contract for the Well 23D Sand Separator Project 2018. Council Memo 15-18, award a contract for the Well 18D Rehabilitation Project 2018. Council Memo 16-18, award a contract for the Well Rock 2 Removal Project 2018. Council Memo 17-18 was removed from the agenda. Council Memo 18-18, award a contract for the Mary Crest Phase 3A Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 19-18, award a contract for the Mary Crest Phase 3B Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 20-18, award a contract for the Rainer Park Phase 1 Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 21-18, award a contract for the Schreiber Avenue Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 22-18, award a contract for the Jefferson Street, Essington Road Water Main Improvement Project. It's recommended Council Memos 14-18 through 16-18 and Council Memos 18-18 through 22-18 be approved.
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Amendments, change orders, and payments. Council Memo 24-18, approve amendment number 6 to the professional services contract for the structural review and construction phase engineering for the Centerpoint Intermodal Center North Bridges structure. Council Memo 25-18, approve change order number 1 to the contract with Urban Design Ventures for consulting services for CAPER and action plans. It's recommended Council Memos 24-18 and 25-18 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Mayor and council members, two quick things this morning. One, as discussed during the Public Service Committee, I think it's important to note that significant cost savings are being realized for many of these contracts because of the fact that city staff members, especially in the public utility department, was able to prepare and get out during the middle of the winter many of these contracts. If you look at many of the engineers' estimates, they were significantly higher. And I've seen over my years, sometimes when you're waiting till the spring, late spring, early summer, so many of these contractors already have their workload established. But I think this is just very significant that they literally saved a couple of $1 million based on what they thought they would be facing because they were going out at the optimum time to solicit bids for these waterline projects as part of this 5 years. So just, I think, appreciation to the public utilities staff for timing all this work and continuing with the very aggressive 5-year public water improvement projects. And secondly, over the next 30 days, I think many of our citizens may see a lot more beards growing on our public police officers, but that's for a very good cause. And Police Chief Benton, would you just mention, I think we're up to about 80 police officers who are going to put their razors away for about a month.
Yes,
is that correct?
That's correct, sir. Mayor and Council, you're probably familiar with the Movember prostate cancer initiative that a lot of people participate in, where people grow mustaches in support for that very worthwhile charity. Well, the past few years, we've been asked by a lot of our officers to, if they could deviate from the grooming standards and grow beards in support of a similar initiative. And I've resisted it. I'm very traditional. I like to the uniform, polished look, but I caved in this past year, but we were a little behind in getting it rolling. So what we did is we implemented starting January 1st, going through the end of the month, and I was shocked at the response we had. We put it out there and said, if you'd like to donate $50 to United Way, we picked United Way because it's an umbrella charity and it covers a number of the different social service and charitable organizations in town. And within the first week, we had 80 people that signed up, and they're asking me to continue it another month with it. The jury's still out of that yet, but right now we're proud to see the positive response and the morale that it's improving, that it's free to court. So they're going to look a little different over the next month, but I think it's been a positive thing overall.
I just feel like the rest of the city employees, and I'm sure some of the council members feel bad that we're not included and given this opportunity. So those police officers are getting preferential treatment, kind of. But we really appreciate that, and it is for a very good cause. With that, I have nothing else for the council tonight. Mayor.
Next is new business, not for final action or recommendation.
New business? No. Nothing. I just, a couple things. Jim Trisna, Jim Egan, if you could thank both your departments for working. The weather's been miserable. I know the snow plows have been out quite a bit the last week or so. And the water crews are out with water mains breaking because of the bitter cold. So I really appreciate the work they're doing. And then Chief Benton and Chief Formals, if you could also pass this along to the first responders who are out. I know, I don't know if we have anyone responding today, but traffic accidents this morning, it was 15 below zero, and someone has to go and handle the accident. So from all of us, thanks to them. And then I didn't get many complaints about the snow plowing. There's always a couple. One of the issues that is coming up, though, seems to be rising up, is when plows can't adequately hit a street because of parked vehicles. And Chief, I know we passed an ordinance a few years ago. Just, I don't know if it's been enforced in this last snow or not.
Yeah, we started enforcing it last year, and we sent a reminder out today that when the snow falls, the plows have a very difficult time. So we've instructed our officers to write tickets. So the public should be aware that 2 inches or more, the officer's going to be out writing tickets. So they should move their vehicles up into their driveway and make way for the plows.
Is it safe to say, and I know it's always up to the officer's discretion, the first snow falls on Christmas Eve during the day. Maybe police laid off a little bit on Christmas Eve because of the holiday. I've been asked that question. It seemed to be the appropriate answer.
We usually do on that first snowfall. A lot of people forget, and so we want to make sure that we advertise it enough that we're going to be out there. The paper usually does a good job of helping us. We on our social media accounts. But the public should know by now that it's very difficult for these plows to get through, and it is a hassle for their neighbors. So we've instructed our officers to write tickets when they see violations, and hopefully they're out doing that this next time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is public comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak under public comments this evening? Mayor and council comments.
I'd just like to wish everybody a happy new year. And I look forward to working with all of you again this year. Thank you.
I'd like to echo those sentiments. Happy New Year, everyone. And Mayor, I'd like to give you a big up. Your program you instituted with the senior and the disability program, the snow removal. Great job. I'm hearing good reports. And Pastor Heath, I believe, who's managing that project, is doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a couple of things on the heels of what the mayor said. This was a big complaint last week with my district, and the mayor and the chief just addressed it. But I'm going to throw a little math out there for all of our fellow residents. In a city of 150,000 people, with an average household of 3 people, that's 50,000. And the average house nowadays has at least 2 cars. That's 100,000 cars in the city. If 10% decide not to follow the law and stay on the street, that's 10,000 cars, and we have, Chief, what, about 280 police officers between the different shifts? That's an awful big mountain. So just because the car in your neighborhood wasn't ticketed doesn't mean they're not ticketing. There's a lot of cars out there. So my plea is to the residents, just do the right thing and move your car. You know, it's that simple. What is it, 2 inches, correct? 2 inches of snow until it's cleared, right? And stop snowing. So, and also, too, be careful thawing pipes for those that are freezing. Any of you see the news report of the house that went up in flames up in Aurora? They were using propane heaters and blowtorches to thaw their pipes. Call a plumber. I'm a do-it-yourself kind of guy too, kind of like Tim Allen. So, that's why I live so close to St. Joe's. But, you know, I think in this time of year, when you need your pipes thawed, call a plumber, call a plumber. We don't do that unless it's on our side, just to let people know. Also, too, the last bit of information that's very exciting to most people, don't forget, we now have weekly recycling. It is 2018. I one time had a neighbor of mine yell at me and said, I looked for your recycling, and it wasn't out last night because I put it out at 5 o'clock the next morning. And I didn't put mine out, Councilman, because I didn't think we had recycling. And I said, I usually don't know when the recycling is. I'm looking for yours, Joe. And he said, no, you're the councilman. You got to know. Guess what, folks? Every week you get to put your recycling out, and that's going to be great because we had a lot of people asking for that. And other than that, Happy New Year to everyone here, my fellow council members, the staff, administration, all the employees, and to all the residents of Joliet.
Can we have a 3-minute limit?
Remember, it applies to you, too.
I don't mean to put you folks in the spot, but you didn't come out here on a very, very cold night just to sit and watch this council meeting. Did you have something you wanted to share with us, sir?
I'm with the property
With the property for 2409 West Jefferson.
Okay.
For the building.
Okay, okay.
Did you want to speak? Well, the vote's already happened.
Yeah, I don't know when I was supposed to speak or if I was supposed to speak, so I didn't know first.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you. Just Happy New Year, everyone. Stay warm and check on your neighbors and the elderly. And please don't leave your pets out. I've been getting a lot of complaints where people are leaving their pets outside. If it's too cold for you to go out, definitely these animals cannot stay out there. That's it. Thanks.
I think there's a request for a closed session today.
Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
Second.
Motion seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin? Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Motion carried.